fantastic. I'm on a whole another level right now because I think this is the
I
first
thought they
time.
were suggesting they're the same person. Yeah, go on.
This is the first time I think ever that I like recorded something else prior to recording the podcast. So I've already been recording
Hmm.
for a duration of time, so I'm loose. I'm feeling good. Just cracked a
Me and
mai
Mike were
tai.
recording too.
You
Mike,
you got your recording voice all set up and ready to go?
ready to go. Mike
Yeah.
and Mike and Dom were fucking playing a little Freddy Fortnite, so they're all loose and ready to go. Todd
We were
was
streaming. We were streaming.
streaming on the old interwebs. Did you lock in the dub before you came on? Or are we living in
No,
in a
Oh
post
we
dub
got
no.
some.
universe?
We got some sec. We got some second place. Some second place finishes.
Okay, okay.
I don't need these, but I might buy these.
So I guess maybe starting a show after I record something else is not good because I had a fun anecdote, like I had a very good anecdote to start things off with, start the show off with a little bit of chaos, and forgot what it was. No
Yo,
idea.
couldn't have been that good.
No idea. Not a clue.
That's gone.
Not a clue.
That's all right.
Not a thing. Not a. I guess since this is going to be a talk about specific things episode, I'll throw this out there to the group. I started playing. Actually, no. This is related to things we're going to talk about later, so I'm not going to start off this way. This is a
Hey, wait,
horrible
wait, no,
segue.
go back though. What were we gonna say? You started playing what?
I don't know. We'll see. I'll bring it up later. Maybe it's E3 related. Who's to say? I don't know. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about who the fuck knows. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening, it's the anime senpai himself. He's so money and he doesn't even fucking know it. Michael is here. Mike, how are you this evening, sir?
You know what? I think I'm starting to get hit with that same breeze you're talking about.
It's a good breeze, right?
It's a good breeze. I wasn't prepared for, but I can feel it kind of coming past me.
I
in this
wasn't
direction.
either.
My monitor is in the way.
Because like I've been back here in this room recording a PAX Online panel that you listeners and viewers out there can look forward to it next month. And it was hot and I was sweating back here for the last hour and a half. But now got these cool breezes coming in that were not here before, and it's feeling real good.
Bro, if you cut your hair, you wouldn't even be sweating. You'd be like, fucking, nothing's going on here.
No, I'd still be sweating. I'm a fucking disaster at this point. Also joining us is I got to switch it up now. You're not. I feel like you're not playing. I feel like you're still playing Monster Hunter, but like not a lot. Like it's not like your persona
not
at
as
this
much,
point. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no,
So
I'm all over the place right now.
I don't know what this guy's name is. I don't know. Like Chivalry's not dead. I guess Todd Gary.
Yeah, that's probably what I've been playing the most, to be honest with you. Yeah.
The most chivalrous gentleman on the planet, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
And then rounding us out, this is a weird day. I should have went for the trifecta. I should have went and found Mike somehow. I should have like brought Mike a fucking coffee or something, or Good Night Fatty, because not only did I see Todd this morning, but when I left seeing Todd for a work related matter, I fucking almost ran over Dom in the street. Fucking joining us, rounding us out, the Disney daddy. Had the week off last week. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing?
I'm here.
So after I had saw you this afternoon, I texted, or I was talking to Todd, and I was like, Todd, I just fucking ran into Dom. He's like, what? Why is Dom up here? And I told him where you work, and
I forgot. Yeah.
and he was like, oh, did you go in and see him? I was like, why the fuck would I go inside there?
Yeah,
like, what the
how do
fuck?
you
Why would I
run
go in
into
there?
him?
Why would I just pop in? Like, hey, I was in the neighborhood. I feel like fucking dropping by the old establishment.
Can you take my temperature real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a place that you really want to be if you don't have to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you were grabbing some chicken guys or whatever was over there.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. I wish it was Chicken Guy. It's not Chicken Guy.
Oh, what was it?
Chicken
Be good.
Guy is Guy Fieri's.
Oh, what was this one? Isn't it similar name at least? Isn't it like the fried rice?
I think it's
chicken guy
called.
or something?
I think it's called the Cluck Truck.
Is it not good?
No, it's good. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's not Guy Fieri's.
Oh, okay, I apologize. I apologize. This is a show. This is a network guy's sons. If you're listening to this, like we would respect that name. We say Fieri in this household. So you want to come on here, guy? You want to promote your next cooking extravaganza? Some other things? We're your people. This is a Flavortown friendly show. Okay.
This show definitely is aired in Flavortown.
Yeah, we're the number one video game podcast in Flavortown. That's actually, we should make a t-shirt. That's our fucking the number one video game podcast in Flavortown. Oh, Guy,
Yeah.
if you're listening, come on down. We got room for you here. That would be a good fucking episode. That would be a real fucking good episode. You think Guy Fieri plays video games?
No.
I maybe like if his kids said, hey, Dad, let's play a little something. I don't think he like sits down on the couch and says, let me pop in the Witcher.
I actually think he's a big Forever Bowl guy on VR. I think he probably sits in his giant living room and fucking bull strikes all day.
Are you saying that based on his shirts?
I believe that.
No, it just seems more his style.
I think if I remember correctly, he learned to cook from Cooking Mama.
Listen,
That sounds accurate. I think I read that somewhere. I think I learned that at his restaurant in New York.
At this point, it's actually a fucking travesty that we don't have like a good cooking either sim or cooking mini game starring Guy Fieri. Like, we need that. Like, why don't we have Guy Fieri's fucking wacky coxina or something? You know what I'm saying?
Or it could be like Tiger Woods too. You get a yearly thing, just like somewhat updated.
I'd eat the shit out of that. Like, I would eat that the fuck up.
That would be great. Just to, like every year you get to see the new cover. Like, oh yes.
What shirt's he wearing this year?
Oh shit! Fucking Flavortown 2022 has got the dopest cover, best cover to date. Flavortown 2022.
I think we got something here.
Call him
Oh
up,
man,
hit him up.
Now I'm upset this doesn't exist.
It needs to. It fucking needs to.
You know what's crazy though is that I'm picturing myself this would be great for VR, but we wouldn't get a cover for a VR game. But I still want that cover.
Oh, we'd make physicals.
Can I get a physical copy
for
a game that exists solely in digital?
We'd go the physical copy route. That's just a case, and we have a download code inside. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, perfect.
Or hear me out. It's a download code. Also, flip side of that piece of paper, a recipe for some donkey sauce. Donkey sauce Cubano sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Little kick.
I think we're on something.
Little kick in there, or maybe this is how we encourage the collectors out there. This is how we encourage the foodies out there. There's like 5 different recipes, so like different copies, random loot box chance of getting a different recipe. Can't post them on the internet. That's just breaking the rules. You got to get that physical piece of paper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you feel about this, Mike?
I'm on board.
Okay. All right.
This is honestly probably one of your better ideas, if not your best idea.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, it's that Guy Fieri is a fucking national treasure. Like the fact that Washington D.C. is the capital of this country and not Flavortown, USA. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing?
If we could go back in time and change it from Philadelphia to then D.C., we should do that.
Flip a fucking burger, baby, and put some donkey sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, couple housekeeping things before we not do this for an hour. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by my boy Guy Fieri. What if that was the real thing? Like, what if we had a Guy Fieri sponsorship and that was the lead up to it? Like, what was the real thing? It's not. But what if it was?
I'll be blown away. Absolutely shocked, flabbergasted.
Use discount code Mikey D at Flavortown Kitchen and get yourself a free side of spicy French fries. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
Imagine if we had that kind of pull.
I do love that Mike's overlay right now gives him even more sass than he normally is displaying.
Yeah, this is because I don't normally emote. I have to have these filters do the legwork for me.
That's smart. I mean, that's just living in a future world, Mike. Like you're living in a plane, an astral plane beyond ours. Like hats off to you, sir.
I'm 3008. You guys are 2008. I keep saying it.
Are we doing a BEP episode? Are we doing a BEP episode, boys? We back on the BEP train?
I hope not. That was a mistake the last time it happened.
I'm pretty sure when I yelled Guy Fieri, Navi was like, I'm out of this fucking room. We're done with this. Anyways, this episode of the podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area, the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square, get yourself a delicious fatty, and educate yourself on what these tasty, tasty treats are. I already got my fatties this week, and let me tell you, fucking stellar weekend, knocked out of the park. They have a rotating selection of fatties every weekend that alternates. It's never the same, always different, keeping it fresh. Flavors come back, but they're never the same week to week. Yeah. And if you were looking for something hot, something sweet, something spicy on the weekend, on the fucking weekend, they got you. On the weekend morning, on a Sunday morning, I'm losing myself right now. I'm feeling myself right now. Sunday morning, head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious chubby. And let me tell you, I love a good chubby in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love waking up, putting a big old chubby in my mouth. It's fucking delicious. A little bit of sriracha, spicy chubby, delicious. Fucking delicioso, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that he always directs these questions to me.
Because I know you know. I know you
Thank
know.
God.
I know that
I
you
don't. Listen. Anytime you talk about chubbies, I don't know what you're talking about. Just
don't
just leave it at that.
Wait, hold, you don't get chubbies?
Abstaining.
Do
from
you
answering that
not
question.
go to Goodnight Fatty on Sunday mornings and indulge in their breakfast offerings?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyways, head on
There's
down.
no way you don't wake up with a chubby in the morning. There's no way.
There's no other way to wake up. If you're not waking up with a chubby on a Sunday morning, you, my friend, are not living. You're
So
not living.
Brendan, you told us earlier that you had like one drink and now you're doing a Mai Tai. Is that what's happening?
Correct. Jen is texting me. I will refuse from looking at it because it's going to be either shut the fuck up, what are you saying, or shut the door. And you know what? We're fucking doing it live. Anyways, check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty scrum diddlyumptious treats. A couple other housekeeping things before we move on into today's episode. The PTC Movie Club pick for June is Todd's pick, and I didn't change the notes, so I don't know what it's called. But Todd, what is the movie called?
Goon.
Nope.
Guess. Brendan, guess. I want you to guess what the title of the film is, please.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
2
down for
words,
that.
right? Is it 2 words?
2 words. Shot time.
I think it starts with the.
So it's 3 words with the, or 2 words with the? Okay, so it's The Nice Guys.
No, the
Wow.
thin red line.
No, it's not. It's not that. Is it The Nice Guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So watch The Nice Guys this month. We're running out of time. It's the 18th as of this recording. So watch The Nice Guys before the end of the month. Last episode of the month, we will talk about The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys featuring.
Ryan Gosling and
And
Russell
Mark
Crowe,
Wahlberg.
my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd, sorry, I'm a movie file. I'm a cinephile, if I may. I'm an actual movie viewer.
This is perfect. We're never going to get around to what Brendan actually wants to talk about, but
I'm-
I want to quickly bring this up. What?
What?
Go ahead.
What do you want to bring up? What do you want to bring up, Mike? John
gonna
fucking
bring this up-
Grissom, whatever the fuck his name is, John Goodman.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up to. I'm gonna bring that up to Dom. I was actually gonna ask Dom a
John
question,
Grissom?
but
Yeah,
No,
right.
I
That's
wish it was
what
John
I was gonna say. The firm?
So-
Wait, what?
I can't remember how it came up. But
We were talking about
something.
movies. It went to the. Actually, I'll leave it at that because then it will give something away. So
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it occurred, but at some point, John Goodman had come up in conversation organically, I believe.
Okay.
yes, organically.
How do
correct.
you think Brendan referred to John Goodman? How did he reference him as?
The person from X role.
Yeah, you know how like sometimes you might be like, the guy from whatever.
Community,
No,
from
don't.
community, from community.
Todd,
Right?
you are an actual idiot.
I was.
Yeah.
No, he
It's
was
fair,
trying
'cause
to.
It's fair because I was gonna say, oh yeah, he's the dad from Coyote Ugly.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I feel like he always has like some weird role.
he has a weird role.
Fred Flintstone.
But I would have accepted that. That would have been fine
That would have been better than
it
Community, Mike.
because he was the lead character in a feature
No,
length
yeah,
film
like-
like that.
It
Mike,
needs to be on, like,
I
the
would
bottom of the list.
argue that John Goodman's role as the air conditioner president is integral to Troy's character, and I would say yes, important role.
Yes.
Lead character? No, but it's an ensemble cast. Who's actually the lead character?
It's an ensemble cast, and he was a
He
guest
was a-
character
In like 5
for
episodes.
like all of like 5 episodes max, and I think that
We
might
should have.
be
I should have picked the Big Lebowski then. Then you could have been like.
I've
seen
seen
The
the Big
Big Lebowski, though.
Lebowski.
There's no way. You probably like start like in bits and pieces.
Exactly.
You've seen The Big Lebowski, and you still chose Community to reference John Goodman.
Not even Roseanne.
What's his most important role to me as a human being, as an individual? He's the air conditioner man. Who played Wilma and and the guy that
Barney
got
was
punched
Rick-
in the New York
Wilma,
City.
I can't remember.
Barney was Rick Moranis,
Betty
right?
was Roseanne.
Was
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay. Oh, I did know that
Halle
actually.
Halle Berry was in the film as some
Yeah, she was
for the movie.
She was somebody's stone, I think. I feel like her. I mean, that's.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
They all had.
I mean,
parts to
yeah,
build.
Like John Goodman
Elizabeth
has so many good
Perkins.
roles.
yeah.
Mike, I do want to say that like you look like the type of person that I'd ask, what can I take out from the TVA library, and you would tell me to go fuck myself. That's what you look like right now.
I do look like that. I honestly just look like a Bratz doll to me.
Yeah. Bratz doll. That was
doll.
what I was thinking.
I have a theory I want to test out. Mike, you know what? You look kind of cute right now.
What do you want me to say to that?
I don't know.
You want me to just change the filter?
I was seeing if it would make you if I complimented you in that way, if it would make you change the filter. I don't actually want you to change the filter. I just want to see if that would happen.
I was going to change it. Like
I set it up. I set it up for failure in the ways I set up the whole thing.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had this one ready to go, but I figured that pirates would come up organically in
Yeah, you
conversation.
should have
I would
saved
just
that.
have
You
it for
should have
then.
saved that for Sea of Thieves, Mike. Jeez, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's roll through the rest of this so we can get into the good stuff.
Wait,
You know what I mean?
John Goodman from Argo, fuck yourself.
I don't remember his role.
Oh,
in
he was
Argo,
in that movie.
He
but
was.
I
in
do.
that
I do
movie,
remember
yeah.
enjoying
He's
Argo.
in so many good movies, and like he has some of the best roles in all these movies. He's never like the big star of the movie. Remember,
John Goodman
Is he?
from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, right.
Is he
Totally.
still alive, or am I confusing him with John Candy?
You are confusing him with John Candy.
Okay.
John Candy's been dead for like 20 plus years.
Sapphire Jade in the chat.
Not a recent thing.
John Goodman from B Movie was in B Movie.
Ooh.
We did go on a deep dive of John Goodman's IMDb the other night.
He's also in Ratchet and Clank, by the way. He's like a voice in Ratchet and Clank.
In the
2016.
game or the movie?
Probably the movie, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel
He's
like
got,
they
he's got,
could have
a
gone
bunch of
for
video game stuff. I'm like looking through his IMDb right now. And he's
Yeah.
got like a ton of video game stuff.
Did you ever see that interview with
A
I
vampire?
forget someone who was
Christian Bale.
No.
Yes, Mike. It's a fucking classic. I'd pick it,
Sure.
but you guys don't know good movies, so
Oh, Blues Brothers 2000. Is that what you were going to reference?
factual.
exactly. I forget who the actor was. Someone who was in I think Mass Effect and was like, yeah, I've never actually like seen what the game is. I know I did the voice for it, but I have no idea what was going on there.
I feel like that's the case though for a lot of people that do things that are just voice work. They
Once-
don't actually ever watch the thing.
Yeah, I want to say it was Martin Sheen, but I could be dreaming that.
I mean, that's not surprising that he didn't play fucking Mass Effect ever. After
Yeah,
I did,
Todd would be the one
I
to
did,
verify it for me.
I did watch Martin Sheen in I don't know, some Netflix show. It has like two female comedians. Todd would probably know who the female leads are. They're much older. I don't know if Jen can hear me right now. She'll text me. I think.
What's the show?
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix show.
You know the name of it?
I
Was
believe.
Martin Sheen in Grace and Frankie?
Yes, Grace and Frankie. Yes, that's the show.
With
The women are famous. I just don't know who. I can't remember their name.
Yeah. It's
They're like legendary actresses or comedians.
No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. No. And I'm blanking on both of their names. They were on Howard Stern recently too.
Did anyone else watch the show?
one of the most recent.
No,
No.
I didn't watch Grace and Frankie.
Jen loved it. I couldn't get into it. I watched.
You know who
enough
else is
of
on
it.
Grace and Frankie? Mike.
June Dyer
That's
nephew.
right.
Yeah, he was always plugging it. That was the best part of how did this get made? It was she would plug that, Paul would plug something, and Jason never really had anything to plug. He's just like, I don't know, watch this show I like.
What show was it? Grace and Frankie?
Sometimes he might just say Grace and Frankie. He might be like, yeah, watch your show.
Oh, he would just plug a show that he was enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the brief period of time where he was legitimately on the
He was
newest
in,
season of Gilmore Girls.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, watch Gilmore Girls.
I
It's Lily
forgot he showed
Tomlin
up in
and
that.
Jane Fonda.
Yes, Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. Okay.
And Jane Fonda is like in her 80s, and she looks like she's like 50 years old, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. Like the show wasn't bad. It's just a lot of the humor to me felt like it was just geared towards like
Old people.
an old audience, and it's not that makes it bad. It's just like I don't know. It felt predictable to me sometimes. I don't know, but like there were some good parts. I watched more of the show than I wanted to because Jen watched it until it was. I don't know if it still has more seasons coming out, but she watched at some point during the pandemic all that was there for that show, and I watched whatever I was in the room for. So
if it didn't end, I think it's like going on its last season if
Yeah.
it didn't already end. But I remember like hearing that it was the final season at some point.
honestly, like from what I watched, the only good actors in the film in it are the 4 old actors. It's Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Martin Sheen, and the other gentleman. I don't know what his fucking name is.
Yo, Ernie Hudson's in it from fucking Ghostbusters. So don't.
And June Diane Raphael. I mean, you just obviously weren't watching the right episodes.
Apparently. Anyways,
Anyways, thank you guys for joining us for
thanks
our
for tuning in for this episode of the Grace and Frankie Show. No, watch The Nice Guys by the end of the month. This is a really weird fucking segment here. We're still, anyways. Watch that movie if you want to hear us talk about it. Todd's pick. It's garbage. We all know it's Todd movies. He's got terrible fucking movie opinions. We've figured this out as a journey together. We've taken. We always all thought Todd's got great taste in movies. Turns out, really not so much.
Just wait.
What do you got? What do you got for me? What do you mean just wait? What are you gonna pick next?
Well, we'll see.
The Big Lebowski? You already spoiled it.
No,
Mike, did you decide on that movie for the next month?
I didn't decide yet.
God damn
What do you
it.
get? Is there a couple movies you're mulling
You want
over?
to tease it, Mike? You want to tease it out?
It's not that so basically, no, it's just like a movie that I caught on TV today that I haven't seen in a while. And I could have
Wait,
sworn Dom had seen it
Which
before.
one are you talking about?
Which
Which one are you talking about?
The Alien Invasion movie.
Oh, I forgot we had that conversation.
Evolution?
too.
We're gonna watch Evolution?
We could.
Evolution's great.
I'd like to
We
see
were
if,
having
I'd like to see if the movie
a
holds up.
conversation. We were having a conversation based around Alien Invasion and talking about things that we would like to see brought into the season of Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
And
remember what movie you're talking
And
about.
it led us to a film, and
Mars Attacks.
I've never seen it.
Maybe.
I've never seen it.
Maybe.
I've never seen it.
Uh,
Mike, you should download on Game Pass Destroy All Humans. I think people like that game. I never played it though. It's on Game Pass.
I
It's
think
newly,
I did
newly
play it.
added.
I think I remember. Am I dreaming? I feel like I played a game at PAX one year, and I feel like it might have been that. But maybe I'm thinking
maybe.
something
I
else.
think it was I think it's a THQ game. It might have been at the THQ
booth. Yeah.
Youth. Yeah, I think it actually was next to SpongeBob. So maybe you did play it. Anyways, Sapphire Jade said, disrespecting my boy Sam Watterson. I'm assuming that's the other main.
That's the other
lead
actor.
male
I
actor.
just looked it up, and he looked familiar, but I
From
think
what?
I only Sam Waters. I think I know him from Law and Order.
Do you guys care if I spoil the first, I don't know, quote unquote twist of the show that happens in the first episode?
Of what show?
Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, dude. If you ruin this for me, I'm gonna be really pissed. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't even think maybe it's not even a spoiler or a secret. I think it might just be like the main
They're
plot
really
of the
dead.
show that if you looked up the fucking show, it would say this. Mark fucking Hamilton. What's his fucking name? Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen and Sam Watterson are married to Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda's characters, and they've been best friends forever. And it turns out that they realize that they're both actually gay, and then they're together. And that's like part of the plot of the show.
Good for them.
And I think I enjoyed their characters more than I enjoyed Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Anyways, Sapphire J said he was on Law and Order and a Cambridge, Massachusetts native. So there you go, Mike. Sam Watterson's your fucking boy. You don't even fucking know it.
Guess not.
So yeah, watch that fucking movie and we'll talk about it. I'm working on a Biomutant written review. We reviewed it last week on the podcast. If you missed that and you want to check out Biomutant, my thoughts on that, and I have my written review coming soon in the middle of all this E3 stuff. I have some E3 stuff in the plans too. But all that being said, we did our 12-hour live stream for MG charity, and it actually ended up being a 20-hour live stream, and we raised over $1,000 at this point. The team page is still active, and it will still be going until the walk, which is in September. So if you missed the stream but want to donate, you can still do that. If you can't find the link on my Twitter, which is in my pinned tweet, you can reach out to me, and I'll get you the link to donate to the team. Or you can just search for my name or Team Gen Jan on the MG Walk website and get to my team page and donate there. Obviously, if you still buy a shirt at this point up until September, that money will also go towards the charity. And you know what? Because I set a goal of 2,000 and we just crossed 1,000, which I honestly didn't even think we were gonna do. So thank you everyone who helped with that. I'm debating potentially doing a bonus stream in July. So look forward to some more information on that. I might structure that stream around how the last stream pushed past 12 hours, which is instead of just being a 12-hour stream, I might select a game and I stream for as long as you donate. So if you donate $10, I stream for 10 minutes. You donate $60, I play for another hour. So I might just start the game and go until the donations stop coming. So and play until the game is finished. So I finished Titanfall 2 at the end of that stream.
Resident Evil 7 stream? Sounds good.
I'm debating something like that's like potentially like a 8 to 10 hour experience, or
Yeah, there you go.
Or getting a little crazy and debating something that maybe is like a 20 to 30 hour experience. And if people want to donate enough money to make me stream for fucking 30 hours straight, I'll stream for 30 hours straight. Mike's laughing right now. Oh, or scratching his eyes. I thought you were laughing. It looked like you were laughing, and I was like, oh, he's like, oh, this motherfucker. It was a lot. I was exhausted. I'm still kind of exhausted from last weekend, but it's obviously worth it for a good cause. So I may be on the lookout. We may announce a bonus stream where I stream specifically based on donations. Anyways, moving right along, as the Muppets once said. I think this episode is, we're poised here. We're coming off of E3. We were official media for E3, and I will say, sure, the E3 app was not helpful, not beneficial. Most of the things that I did and saw from E3 were from prior connections that I've already had for us. The E3 app was not super beneficial. There was an app for, I don't know if non-media credentialed people could download it. I think you could actually, because I think there was also a user experience for just regular people, non-media and content creators. I don't know what that entailed, but there wasn't enough for really me to do from that. But we still, are going to have some stuff, and we did 2 watch-alongs to the Xbox stream and to the Nintendo stream. So if you want to see Mike and I's reaction to those on the Nintendo one, Cam Hawkins, friend of the show, also joined us. So if you want to watch those are up on our YouTube channel. But I kind of want to just throw this out there in like a non-formulaic, not really structured thing. We don't really have to go through conference by conference, I don't think. Just because the way E3 was this year and the way that Summer Games Fest was, there was so much shit happening for fucking felt like 2 weeks, and it was all spread out, and there was just a lot of things going on that it would be kind of silly to kind of run through each thing on its own, in my opinion, especially because Mike and I did those standalone watch-along live reacts for the 2 arguably bigger streams, where I think we'll just kind of throw it out there and like, what was everyone excited about? Like what were the things, or if you have things that were kind of duds or you didn't care about and you won't feel like mentioning, feel free to drop those too. But what were some of the things that kind of like stood out to you or were bigger deals or you cared about or got you excited? I don't know, whoever wants to kick it off, go ahead.
Ew.
You got Mike.
What do you got, Mike?
What
Throw one out there. What was the thing that got Mike all fucking tingly and jingly?
A lot of things, but that's because of a medical condition that I have that I won't go into on the podcast.
Okay.
Anywho, let's see. So, Tekken Rep and Smash is probably the only thing I could really say that I walked away from thinking, hey, that's something I care about.
What? So are you pumped that Kazuya's in Smash, or are you just pumped that there's a Tekken Rep?
Tekken. I don't think I had any real allegiance to what Tekken character they picked.
Would you have been more excited if it was a specific character, or no?
Yes, if it was Law, I would have been all game.
I don't know why you're so Law happy. Like I feel like there are many characters above Law that would have been like up for consideration.
The Ken Guile guy, like what's his name?
No, I feel like Hayachi,
everyone wanted
Kazuya,
Eddie
and
Gordo.
Jin. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Hayachi, Kazuya, and Jin are like the
Who's the
easy
guy who has
easy
like
picks.
the wood shoes? Who's the guy who has the wood shoes? Is that like one of the guys you're saying? He's
The
got,
guy
like,
that
Who
has
what?
the guy that has the fucking like he copies everyone's moves. The wood
I
guy.
forget. Yeah, he's got like the wood
Mokujin?
shoes and he's got like the
Mokujin.
mustache and like. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't think
I'll
he's thinking of
No.
Mokujin. I think he's thinking of a character
No,
that
it's
has
Wood
wooden
shoes
shoes.
and has a mustache.
I was. He looks like Waluigi. No, I think he's like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ha-
I hope this
I'll
character
look it up.
exists.
Who you're
because
referencing?
I'll
yeah,
look it up.
look that up,
He
Todd.
sounds great.
Anyways, it had to be somebody from the Mishima family. So
So
it was
those
either
three, right?
Heihachi, Kazuya, or Jin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Or
Lars.
Lars.
Whatever. Yeah, Lars.
The fact that
Spoiler
the fact that I don't know who that is and I've played almost every Tekken game, I feel like they chose
Tekken
correctly and not choosing Lars.
6?
6 or 7. He's from one of the most recent ones.
Okay.
He's like a child Heihachi didn't know he had.
Is Kazuya in every
Oh, wait,
game,
no,
or does he
hold on.
pop up in 3?
It's
To be
Hayachi.
fair,
I was thinking of
Heihachi.
I thought he had a mustache. Yeah,
he doesn't have wooden shoes.
I think he does wear like I think he wears
he
those
has,
like
like
sandals
these-
that have
yeah,
the
like,
wood blocks.
The sandals. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
I kept
pretty
thinking.
good.
I kept thinking
I
of
think about
clogs.
I was thinking about clogs too.
What were you saying, Brendan? I was gonna say, to be fair, the best family member from the Mishima family would have been Kuma, but
Wait, he's a Mishima fan? I didn't know that.
he's
Heihachi's
Heihachi's
pet.
pet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think on forums he probably gets to write down.
But you think King would have been like a proper representation of Tekken though?
Yeah, but the story is the Mishima family.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say Kazuya. Unless I'm thinking of Jin, is Jin? So Jin is on the cover of Tekken 3.
Probably.
When do Kazuya and Jin show up in the games? They're not in the first game, right? They
Kazuya-
show up in like 2 and
Kazuya's
3.
in the first
Kazuya's-
game.
Kazuya is the protagonist of the first game.
So I guess Kazuya makes the most sense because I didn't I think part of the reason why I never expected a Tekken rep at this point was because I assumed at this point in the game we would have already gotten a Tekken rep just based on who they've added. Like we got Ryu in the last game, and then we got Ken in this game, and then we got fucking Terry. And like I personally love that Terry's in the game, but like the fact that an SNK fighter made it in before a Tekken fighter
Yeah, that
always
doesn't
made
make
me
any sense.
it always just it didn't it's not that it didn't make sense, it just to me made it seem like, oh, okay, like we're past Tekken now, we're not going to put a Tekken person in here. So I was kind of
stand by the
shocked.
fact
I was
that
kind
no
of
one knows
off.
Who the fuck Terry is? Like,
Yeah, yes, a Tekken fighter is going to probably have a little more cachet than a King of Fighters character, but I don't hate that either of these characters are in the game. They're definitely neither of these characters are the ones that I would have chosen. Like there are other people I probably would have chosen to put in this game before
I hope
either
the
of
final
them.
character is just like me fighter 2. That's all it is. It's
That's
like,
not
you
what it's going to be. I honestly don't know what it's going to be at this point because I really, really, really expected this to be Fortnite. Because
See, I don't think they'll ever put Fortnite in because I said this a million times, but I just don't. I think Fortnite should be in, but I just don't think that their mascots make any like. There's nothing that stands out from Fortnite. So like, I know you said you can pick all different costumes, but there's still like not that one thing. And Johnny Fortnite or whatever his
yeah,
fucking name is.
but that's
like,
why I think like there's 8 costumes per character. Some characters have 16. There's 8 costumes per character. I feel like that aside from the Jonesy character, like they would have put 7 other costume variants that would have been like enough together to kind of like amalgamate to what Fortnite is. Listen, if my take is if
what if
Minecraft,
it's a PUBG character?
that wouldn't make
Like,
any sense. If Minecraft wasn't in Smash, I think the Fortnite pick would still be a little off base. But the fact that Minecraft is there, it makes me think like Fortnite has a really good chance of showing up. But the reason why I was expecting Fortnite as this character reveal is because just the flow of this season pass, this fighter pass, I was expecting Nintendo to make the second to last character a quote unquote, big character and have the final character be a Nintendo character. Which
I still think is what they're going to do. And
It's
would be
definitely
amazed
possible.
If they did Waluigi, I feel like they would break the fucking internet. Like the amount of hype that was because it's like
He would have to be. He would have to be such a like troll character, though.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah.
too. It'd be
If
amazing.
you save him until the end, he would have to be such a troll character.
But like the hype around that, like that would just—it's like already a huge meme, and at this point, like that would just be like fucking a huge bang for like to finish that off.
This is what I think they're gonna do. So I have a couple of different avenues for the future of Smash. I don't think they're making a Smash sequel for a very long time. Like I'm thinking potentially like 5 more years at the earliest, simply because
They've kind of boxed himself into a corner with this game too. You know,
well,
like
I think the thing that makes the most sense for them is, unless the licensing that they have for these other characters doesn't work this way, but I think the thing that makes the most sense for them is like if all of these additional characters are licensed into like they can exist forever in Smash Ultimate, then it makes no sense for Nintendo to ever make a new game. They should just always iterate and patch and fix this game and make additional DLC, because then they'll always have the biggest roster in fighting games. Because I agree with you, if they ever make a Smash sequel, they would have to reboot Smash in some way. They have to change something fundamental to make it to make people. There will always be people that'll be like, well, it'll never have a roster like that. It'll never have this, whatever. But my main point is this: is that, especially with this being the next character, the Tekken fighter, Kazuya, I think that they're gonna do one of two things. The DLC will end with this final fighter, but I think we'll probably also get a bonus fighter with that, and that could be the Waluigi pick or X other Nintendo game that they want to promote, and they give us a dual fighter at the end. Because if you look at Smash 4, when they ended that game, it was only supposed to get one more fighter, but they gave us Bayonetta, Cloud, and Corrin, if I remember correctly. Or they at least gave us two fighters. I don't know if they gave us a full third, but what I'm thinking is they do one of three things. They end it with this final character. They give us a bonus character with it. They announce, after they give us the character, an additional fighter pass, which I think is the least likely. What I think is the most likely is that they end this fighter pass here with this final character, and then the future of Smash is we just get a la carte fighters when they feel like announcing them and giving them to us. And most of them, if not all of them, will just be Nintendo fighters to help promote future Nintendo games. So like when the next Pokemon generation comes out, instead of, just dropping that game, they'll probably give us a Pokemon character tied to that game to Smash. Insert other game that they want to promote. I can see them doing that, no problem. I don't think Smash DLC necessarily ends here, just because I think that it's too powerful of a franchise for them. It's this game is too powerful for them, that and the fact that I don't see them making a new game anytime soon, that it just makes sense for them to, at the bare minimum, do the overtime a la carte character. But anyways, back to the point at hand. Mike said his piece on the Tekken fighter. Dom, is a big Tekken fan. How do you feel about Kazuya being added?
I think he makes sense as a representative for Tekken.
Are you pumped for him to be in it or no?
Yeah. I mean, as pumped as I was for, I don't know, Banjo, I guess.
Okay.
He's a character that I will enjoy, like, messing around with, I guess. From what I read, they didn't want to add Heihachi in because he didn't have an element that they could make work in Smash. And with Jin's Devil Gene, that was the thing that they thought would like transition well to Smash.
Yeah.
So that was
That's,
so
okay.
he was
yeah,
the
that's
next
what I was
logical
thinking
thing.
about.
That makes sense.
That's what I was thinking about for, like, in terms of picking any of the other characters, that if you were going to pick a character from Tekken, if you were going to go let's go with one of the main quote-unquote
It would
characters.
be Heihachi. You can't
Yeah.
use Heihachi because he doesn't have that extra thing.
Other
So
thing. Exactly.
Unless his extra thing isn't Puma also his pet? Kuma, sorry.
Kuma's his pet, yes.
Kuma is his pet.
Yeah,
correct.
so like, you could have threw Heihachi in there, maybe like his ultimate or something, or some other thing is like, fucking Kuma comes out and fucks shit up for you. You know what I'm saying? Kuma and King, because I also didn't know King was his fucking pet.
King is not his pet. Kuma is
King
his
is
pet.
Oh, I thought
King
you
is a
said
man.
King earlier.
King is
King-
a King is a
King is a
person.
man.
Well, that's why I was confused. I thought you said King was a
No.
Mishima pet.
Kuma.
Okay.
Kuma is.
I'll blame the Mai Tai. Anyways, what else got you excited, Mike? Or I guess you gave your Tekken thing. We'll move on to Todd. Todd, what was a highlight for you from E3 this year?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of stuff. Elden Ring, even though I suck at every fucking Dark Souls game I play, and I just started playing Sekiro again because I'm like, I want to make it somewhere. I started from the beginning, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't understand the deflect mechanic as well, like when I played it a while ago, and after so many games doing the same thing, I kind of get it a little bit, but I still feel like I'm gonna have a fucking really big problem. But and I don't give a shit about George R. R. Martin. I mean, at this point,
Yeah, I
like
don't
it's
either.
cool that he's involved and everything, but like, I did read today that they're going to try to make this game not easier, but a little bit more accessible to everyone rather than adding like a difficulty or anything. So I don't know. For
Okay.
me, that's probably ideal. For everyone else who loves these games and the challenge, they're probably like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other game, I feel like there was a game that was just like made for me. It was Replaced? Is Replaced the one that I was talking
From the
about a lot?
Xbox show?
Yeah. Replaced is like a ideal game for me from what I watched. Like, you know, it
Yeah.
seems like drive style soundtrack.
Yeah, it's got good music, good visuals. Like I believe the story of the
love
game is
art
like
style.
you're an AI, you're human that gets controlled by an AI or something. Like it has a very dystopian tone
Yeah,
for
it looks
the
great.
for the story, and the visuals and the story look good. It looks kind of like out there too. Like it does some interesting like screen things and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what to expect from that because it didn't show a lot. But then when it showed some action, I'm like, ooh, this looks like very stylistic. I'm like, oh, okay, this looks great. And then the other funny thing I was really excited about, and I got even more excited about when I found out who was mating it, was Somerville. Because I didn't realize that was people from Play Dead, the guys who made like Inside and everything.
wait, it's a Playdead game?
No, it's like someone
X people
who,
from there?
X people, yeah, from Play Dead. So I'm 100% on board with that.
Interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, no. The second I saw that, I'm like, ooh, that makes sense why it looks so good. And then Halo multiplayer. You know, I've been a naysayer on Halo and everything, but I was really just at like what I saw of that. I'm like, I'm sold.
So before we dive into Halo, I do want to
I
bring
don't
up.
care about the single player. Like single player can be fucking terrible for all I
Yeah.
care, but the multiplayer looks great.
Okay. I do want to dive into Jesse in the chat. Jesse Vitelli, friend of the show, said King should have been the fighter. I rest my case. So take that, Tekken fans, as you will. I think.
What would King's moveset have been? He's a wrestler.
Oh shit! Shots
So it
fucking
would have
fired.
all been. It would have all
Grapple.
been.
King is
grapples.
already in the game. We already have fucking the
Incineroar?
Pokemon. Yeah, I forgot his name as soon as I started that sentence.
Damn. God damn. Anyways, so Todd brought up Halo. I was gonna save this towards the end, but one of the few, actually not one of the few things, because there was a lot of things from E3 that got me excited. I thought there was a lot of really cool announcements at this year's E3. Jesse said me grappler but cooler. So there you go. So you have this point with Halo where a lot of people seemingly were upset with the last year's Halo reveal, which I personally was not. I enjoyed what I saw. I was excited for things like the grapple hook and other things. I didn't think the game visually looked bad. I was excited for this like purposeful trying to recreate a Halo 1 vibe graphically or aesthetically, and I enjoyed that because Halo 1 is probably my favorite Halo game. Anyways, when this cinematic trailer starts, I immediately got hit with like, this feels like a fucking story. Like this feels like a hype trailer for Halo 1, 2, or 3. Like this feels like Halo 1, 2, 3 for me with like the exposition, how Chief looks, what's being said, what's happening. We get this new Cortana that doesn't look like looks kind of like Cortana, sounds kind of like Cortana, but isn't Cortana. We get this, potential like, where are they going with the story? Are they like retconning some stuff from Halo 5? Are they just kind of like alluding to Halo 5 stuff? Or are they just expanding on that storyline? Or we don't really know where they're going with it. But what they revealed in this little snippet and what they kind of set up, and the fact that like, I think this was purposeful. I think a lot of people didn't like that other character that was in the other Halo trailer, the pilot. So like this trailer was just Chief and this new Cortana, I think that was very much by choice and very much by design, which was, hey, you know what? We know people love Chief. We know people love Cortana. This new story doesn't really revolve around Cortana potentially. So we're not going to tie her into this, but we are going to tie in this new AI that is going to be probably integral to the story here.
If the campaign doesn't have the flood, then I honestly think it's a lost cause.
It's so
Like,
wild to me that you love the flood. I fucking hate the flood.
love the flood. I feel well like
the flood will probably be there.
We only got the flood in the first game, didn't we? Is there no? I can't remember. I'm blanking right now. I don't remember. I don't think the flood was in 2, right?
Okay. I don't know. I literally played through Halo 2 like a couple months ago, and I can't even fucking remember.
Yeah.
Blame the Mai Tai. Blame the Mai Tai.
Yeah, right.
But I will say that I think that like what this Sapphire Jade said, who's a big Halo fan, said she thinks the new AI will die in 5 minutes, and there's flood in the first 3 games. I don't know about the AI thing. I'd be interested to see if that plays out. But there
when
you
is
go.
the flood in 2 though? Because like I'm not a big fan of 2, but I just can't remember when the flood was.
I don't know. I don't. If you're gonna ask me to recant Halo campaigns at this specific moment, I'm gonna just go out there and say it's not gonna happen. Not possible. But I will say that like the campaign trailer, the cinematic trailer for Halo Infinite, really got me going, and the multiplayer trailer, and I don't know if you watched the other multiplayer stuff they did later in the week, Todd, but the multiplayer trailer, I've always been a Halo multiplayer stan. I think Halo multiplayer has always been good. I don't think Halo multiplayer has ever been really bad, and I think Halo 5 multiplayer is really good. If you have an Xbox, you have Game Pass, you should check it out, because you can say what you want about the story, their campaign, but the multiplayer is very solid. The multiplayer trailer for this looks so fucking good that like this could be the thing that brings Halo back to a more mainstream outside of the fan base of Halo. Like, people need to play this fucking shooting game. I'm very excited for Halo. Like, I was already super excited for Halo. There's really not much Halo could do at this point to make me not excited for that game, but I am very excited for that game.
I just need Halo Warzone and we're good.
Like, you want a BR?
No, I don't at all. I don't give a shit about BRs.
I mean, if they bring a BR, I'm fine with it. If they don't bring a BR, it doesn't matter to me. I don't necessarily expect them to bring a BR. I expect them to make the Halo version of whatever a BR is, and that'll probably be an expanded version of what Warzone was for them in Halo 5. It's just coincidental that it's called Warzone, where it was basically PvP VE, where there was 2 different teams. It wasn't one life. It was like a big team battle with also enemies, NPC enemies spawning on the map. It was a very good mode. It was fantastic. Like, if any one of you said let's play Warzone, I'd go fucking play it. Like, it's very fun.
I played Firefight a couple nights ago, whatever it's called.
The Horde mode?
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck? I'll play that shit. Like, I will drop what I am doing to play Halo. I love Halo.
Randoms. I've been jumping into Halo. It's been like kind of one of my, if I'm not playing Chivalry, I'm playing like I think Halo, yeah.
The Master Chief Collection and Halo 5 are always installed on my Xbox, which makes my Xbox very complicated because both of those games together is like almost 300 gigabytes.
I know. That's why I feel like I have to play that game because it's taking up so much space.
Yeah, but that's why my Xbox is so tight all the time, because I will never delete those 2 games because I will always play Halo. Anyways, I digress. Anything else, Todd? That was big for you?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild too, but like I just want it to come out already. But I take your time, but I need it.
Yeah. Anything about that trailer specifically that got you fucking jazzed up?
Yeah, the diving from the sky, right there. I was like, yep, sold. Like, I saw that for 30 seconds. I'm like, yep, all right, I'm good.
Can I interest you in Skyward Sword?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it now. Now that all those theories are going out there, I'm gonna probably have to buy Skyward Sword. I think it looks horrible. I think it really looks horrible from like the visual.
I mean, it's a fucking
standpoint,
Wii game.
Like,
I mean, you have to put that into perspective.
I get it, but like, listen, I 100% get it, and I'm gonna still probably get it, and I wasn't gonna get it, but it just looks rough.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the combat looks rough, but
What about you, Dom? Breath of the Wild 2 trailer? Because you're not really a big Breath of the Wild fan.
I still haven't played the first one very much.
It's crazy to me how it hasn't hooked you. Because like, I honestly
No.
think that like Breath of the Wild is potentially my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
It's crazy to me. What is your favorite Zelda game? Majora?
Majora probably, yeah.
See, do you
so
like
it's
do you
so
like
funny 'cause that's
Ocarina of
like the only
Time or
game I
no?
won't play.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like this is, and this is like probably a shitty comparison, but I feel like this could end up being the Majora
I
to
hope
the
not.
Ocarina. I mean, I think it will be taught in a lot of ways. Where I
Maybe.
think they're
I'm sick
purposely
of games
going with
making
some
me like.
darker tones here.
That's fine, but I'm sick of games making me be on a schedule of things, and like
Oh,
if I
I don't
don't
think
do
it's gonna
something,
have that mechanic.
oh, okay, yeah, like it's
I
like
just think
I'm so done with
when I
that
say
shit.
Majora, I think it's gonna have some fundamental mechanics that are different from Breath of the Wild, and I think the story of this game is going to be a little bit darker than Zelda games
I hope so.
traditionally tend to be, because we don't normally like I can't even think of the last time that we got this scenario. Like we got Ocarina of Time on the N64, and then we got Majora's Mask on the N64, and it's basically a sequel to that game, but not really, where we don't ever get that situation. Like we never get this type of scenario where we get a mainline Zelda game and then a sequel. So the fact that we're getting a Breath of the Wild 2 on the same console, I'm really excited for that. But did this trailer do anything for you, Dom, or no?
I mean, I'll eventually get back to Breath of the Wild.
But the sequel
Like,
trailer does nothing for you?
I mean,
Does Dom know
I
like what
haven't
like
played
the
the first
theories,
one, so
what the
Yeah.
theories are out there? Does Dom know like?
I mean, I'm assuming that Dom
I don't think
hasn't
so.
dove into the theories.
No.
Where I stand on this right now is this, and there was one night where I was a little bit had a couple of beverages and I was late at night, and I decided to dig into the two trailers, the one from a couple years ago and the one from this past week, and they show Link has what looks like the powers of the Sheikah Slate now infused into his arm. They're in his body now. They're part of his DNA. But a couple of things that were interesting to me were, if you stop the trailer when in the first trailer from a few years ago, when Link and Zelda are in this cavern of sorts looking for who knows what, stumble across Ganon with this power and fist coming out of his chest. They're wearing specific outfits. In the trailer from this past E3, when the powers are being fused to the arm, there are two notable things in that scene. The character's hand that is being infused has long nails. Link does not have long nails. And, again, unless this is just an oversight by Nintendo, which is also, I guess, possible,
I don't think so.
the character also has black pants on. Link is not wearing black pants in that cave. He's wearing like a light brown pants, and Zelda is wearing black pants. So my guess is there's a portion of this game at least where you are playing as Zelda, and there's a portion of this game where you're playing as Link. And I think that both characters get this infusion with the Sheikah Slate abilities. But the other popular theory that now
I think there's three people you play as, and I think what you're going to say now, but
Okay, maybe, yeah.
I think all three, you're going to play as all three.
and that's maybe possible. The other theory going around is that you play as a young Ganon, and that's the person with the powers. And he's the original champion, so like maybe you are playing as Ganon. There are some scenes where Link's hair is a little bit different, so people are like, is that Zelda? Is that Ganon? Blah, blah, blah. Some people are saying things like, oh, you can see that he has certain features, and it's just hair just is out of a ponytail. Maybe that's all possible too. But Nintendo doesn't show Link's face at all in this trailer. So who's to say? Who knows? I think it could be a lot of just cheekiness. Maybe they know the fan base wants Zelda playable. They're just playing around with that idea. But you add in the element of Nintendo purposely isn't announcing the title of this game because they specifically said we don't want people to know what this game is about, because if we announce the title, they may be able to figure that out. Makes me think
Well,
that
they came out and said the title is basically a spoiler.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it makes me think that some part of this title is going to give some sort of credence to any number of these theories out there. The only other thing that I can think of that would make sense and that would potentially, again, lead to some credence to the title being revealed would reveal this notion is that maybe you don't play as Link, Zelda, maybe you don't play as young Ganon, maybe you're only playing as Link, or maybe you do that and this other thing exists. I think that there might be some either time travel elements or some dimensional changing elements, because some people have pointed out that there are some statues that look like the time shifting statues from Skyward Sword. And some people are pointing out a few other things. One of the things I noticed in the trailer is that one of the points when quote unquote Link is using a Sheikah Slate power, it looks like the dimension or time changes in the environment because everything turns a different color and it like starts to like seep out into around it. The other thing that people are kind of latching onto at this point is, hey, there's a reason why Nintendo is remastering Skyward Sword right now instead of just porting over Twilight Princess or porting over Wind Waker, because there's some sort of relevance to Skyward Sword that they want people to experience before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, which that could lead to a number of things.
Isn't it more likely that they haven't remade Skyward Sword yet?
I mean, that's also possible. But I think there's some stuff there with like the origins of some of these characters and certain mechanics that maybe, again, the time travel thing, that may become important in Breath of the Wild 2. So I think that's why. I think the other part of it is that one of the people who worked on Skyward Sword also worked on Breath of the Wild and also worked on Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know if it was Aonuma or someone else. Basically just wants everyone to play his third game, which is Skyward Sword. But I mean, it could be a number of things. But I just think it's interesting.
There was a lot of element to play, it seemed like. At one point, Link is like traveling through rock.
Yeah, that's
and then there was one where he was like traveling through water. It like
yes,
like turning into elements.
Yes, that's the thing that's really interesting to me, which makes me think that like there's something else going on here that is very integral to what is happening.
Well, I was trying to remember, does that link to any other game? Because there was like,
I mean,
everything else has been like either like turning time, turning seasons. Like there hasn't been anything where he like shape shifts, right?
The closest thing that I can think of off the top of my head is from A Link Between Worlds, where you turn into graffiti and can like
not the same.
Not the same. The only other thing I can again say is like, you know, it's a dimensional thing, and that's why he's able to kind of move through certain stuff. But I digress. I am also very excited for that. Dom, were there any things from this E3 that stood out to you or got you excited or what?
I am interested in the Guardians game. I don't know if I can call it excited or not, but I am interested in it. I want to see more from it. It's tough for me to say that I'm excited for it yet, but I mean, I love the property. It seems like a good concept.
I'm interested in how that's going to run on the Switch. Like that getting announced for Switch is kind of bonkers to me because it seems like it's
cloud.
It's got to be. Did they announce that officially or no?
Yeah,
it said it on the bottom.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it said this game will require a fast, high-speed network.
That makes a lot of sense.
I have zero interest in that game because I'm like so mad about fucking the other one still.
I mean, this is a completely different experience.
Don't get me wrong.
It seems like it seems like it's going to play differently, which is kind of more of why I'm like curious to see how it turns out, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see more about it before I like fully latch onto it, I guess.
As someone who is like is very much into the Star Wars universe and how all of the media surrounding Star Wars is interconnected in canon at this point, do you wish that the Marvel universe was also like that, or do you like that it is like segmented and they can do their own thing?
Who's to say it's not?
I guess that's true too. I'm gonna argue that it's not.
Have that,
but
they can have that be. They can have it be Earth. I don't know, whatever they want to call it.
I guess that's true too. They could literally
It's
just
just a
make other
different.
universes. Yeah.
It's a parallel universe of the movies, of the comics, of
Fair enough.
yeah. The Avatar thing is odd to me. That
Yo, I don't
the
know what's
Avatar
going
game
on
was.
with anything.
Are you an
I'm
Avatar
so
sicko now? Are
confused.
you a fucking Avatar sicko now? You went to Disney and now you're fucking
No.
Mr. Avatar?
No, I'm more confused that we got an Avatar game announced before Ubisoft said anything about their Star Wars game.
Yo, it's just wild.
They
to
are
me because,
working on a
like,
Star Wars game.
yo, they
I
got
don't.
like 5. It's just crazy. They have 5 sequels to Avatar. I don't think anyone gives a shit about Avatar. And
I
then they have
certainly
They got a
don't.
game now too.
And now they get a game, and it's like,
I mean, the game
who's
looks gorgeous.
Sure, but who's hedging these bets on this? That this is everything
Disney.
that's going
I don't
on.
know.
Disney's got a lot of
I don't
money.
know.
They fucking bought it.
I'll
Listen, I
probably play
understand-
it.
I understand James Cameron. Like, I get like what he's done for film and everything, but like at the same time, like Avatar was a huge deal due to like the digital and 3D effects that they implemented into that movie.
It was very much a product of
Eye candy, basically.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. And like the story's been done over and over again. The acting's not that great, and now they're fucking making 4 fucking more of these in a game, and I'm just like, I just don't understand. I don't, and there's no way, whatever that next Avatar movie. I hope, maybe I'm wrong, but there's no way that movie's gonna do well. I don't see the next Avatar sequel coming out doing well. It's so far removed from like the people who grew up with it, and like the people who grew up with it didn't even think it was that great.
See, here's
and, like,
here's the thing with movies doing well going forward is that I feel like it's not an actual reflection of things because of the current state of the world. I feel like
and there's no A-list actor in that movie. Sam Worthington, the guy hasn't fucking made a good movie ever.
I mean, to be fair, there was no
Is
A-list.
Zoe Saldana not in 2?
What's that?
Is Zoe Saldana not in the movie?
Yeah,
anymore?
I mean, like, she's cool, but like, I mean, she's not going to carry a movie. Sigourney Weaver's as a fucking blue alien is not going to carry a movie. You know, like.
I mean, again, there is room for movies to do very well with not lower name or no name actors simply because like again you look at the early MCU, a lot of those actors were relatively nobody aside from Sam Jackson and fucking Robert
Well,
Downey
that's
Jr.
fine. They had like better source material to work with. Like the source.
Yeah, that's
material
true
is
too
fucking,
potentially.
like,
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't. I've never met somebody who is actually into Avatar.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's, like,
I don't know if there are people that exist like that.
I'm sure there's people out there that think the movie was like great to watch and everything back then, but like.
But that
it was,
doesn't
like,
mean
the
you're
first-
into Avatar.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It was like like
There's
it was like the
not-
first big 3D
there's
movie.
not. Yeah, there's not source material to be like head over heels in love with. It's that movie
but that
the
doesn't
theme park.
But that doesn't necessarily like mean a bad thing. Like here's one of the things that makes this is one of the things that makes Mass Effect so fucking good is that Mass Effect is like an original creation. It didn't come from books. It didn't come from comics. It was like BioWare made that universe and created it and like went with it. And like when someone makes something organically and like it's good and it's fresh and it's exciting, that can be great. And who knows? I hope we're all fucking wrong and Avatar ends up being like this new thing that we all fucking love and like we go to fucking, I don't know, NaviCon and fucking dress blue. I hope. I fucking hope. Do I think that's gonna happen? No.
I feel like the only way that they'll be able to make this work is if Hollywood and James Cameron has some new piece of technology that they're going to unleash with this movie.
Do
Basically
they-
the same way
does
they
it
did
have a
with,
release
like,
date?
I think they do. I think there's like 5 of them. Five.
Yeah, but does it have an
fucking
actual
sequels.
release date? The next movie?
They have years.
I think so.
Like when it's like
Is it
years
this
when they're
year?
slated to come out. No, it's like
Next year.
2022, I think.
So here's what I'm saying: is like I feel like movie box office right now is going to be such a chaotic thing to like quantify because
December 16th, 22.
I feel like there's going to be a window of time. I don't know how long that will last, but there will be a window of time where when the right amount of people feel safe doing this
shit.
type of thing, like I wouldn't go to the movies yet.
Vin Diesel's in too.
Oh, fucking, that's going to do
Okay,
gangbusters.
Yeah, so like,
Game
it's already a joke. So like the movie was kind of
December
already a joke, and now
16th,
it's
2022.
Like,
Todd,
and now it's like definitely a joke.
Mike, I don't know
I
what
said that,
conversation you're listening. Yeah, I don't know what conversation you listen to, Mike, but like 7 people have said that already.
Oh,
Said
yeah,
one.
I'm not listening to you guys.
Yeah, the movie's a
Todd,
joke.
you can say what you want about Vin Diesel, but I believe on an international scale, Vin Diesel is very big overseas. Am I incorrect here, Mike?
Yeah, just for the Fast and the Furious.
Who
He
the
has
fuck
nothing
cares?
else.
That's gonna sell
Nothing
fucking.
else.
That's gonna put butts in seats, baby. That's what.
Yo,
That's what. I,
I-
was gonna say
I
Nintendo.
think-
That's what Disney cares about. Butts in seats, baby.
I actually think that overseas market's going to do really well with this movie. I just
That's
don't
all
think
that
the United
fucking
States-
matters. The U.S.
Yeah, like, I
market
don't
is
think
not like.
I don't think the U.S. market's going to do what
It
they
doesn't
want.
matter if the bigger markets overseas fucking carry that business. It doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to say is, I think there will be a window of time for the movie theaters that like is gonna be it's gonna be a false situation where people are gonna see this big uptick in people going to the movies. And everyone's going to think the movies are this fucking golden goose and all this shit again. And then it's going to go back to, you know, a more normal type of thing. But I think there will be a point of time where the most amount of people feel comfortable going back to the movies and big movies come out again. It's going to be this fucking big thing. But then I think it will flatten back out.
And then it goes back to normal by like December of 2022.
Right.
I mean, potentially. Yeah, that's also possible. So Avatar might miss that fucking window.
Yeah. I just don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to be inside James Cameron's head and think like, because like, what's the like? How long has it been? Has it been like 10 years? Has it been 8 years? I feel
I
like
don't
It has been more. It has been.
I feel
more than 10 years.
I feel
It's
like I
gotta
was
work.
fucking
Yeah.
12 years old when I saw Avatar. So,
which is wild. Yeah, like that's fucking wild to me.
What,
I saw it.
2018, Mike?
and I didn't fucking care about it then, and I don't care about it now.
2008. I'm sorry,
2008,
2008.
2009.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't give a fuck. I was a freshman in fucking freshman in college. I don't give a fuck about that movie. Anyways, but back to E3. This is an E3 show. Anything else, Dom, that got you wiggly in your wogglies?
Yes. I loved watching a trailer for Final Fantasy and then finding out that it was coming to Steam and mobile.
Yeah, that was surely a thing. I was really hoping, like, in my heart of hearts, I was hoping that, like, oh, maybe it was announced that way because, like, I don't know, maybe Nintendo's Direct will have, like, coming to Switch, yeah, it didn't fucking happen.
I would have got it if it was coming to Switch.
I also would have. The other thing that's, from what I understand, that sucks about that scenario is that not only is it only coming to fucking Steam and mobile, they're a la carte purchases. So you're buying these games separately. It's not like a collection.
Yikes.
You're just buying them separately. So like, will they sell well on Steam? Probably. It's fucking Steam, and there's plenty of people with PCs. It's kind of disappointing they're not coming to console. I hope that that changes in this year at some point. And maybe that's a choice by design where Square's like, we'll put them out on PC and mobile first, and then we'll announce later in the year they're coming to console to like double dip on it. But I think that they fucked that up, and maybe should have did it backwards if that's the case, and did it console first and then later announced them for fucking Steam. But yeah, anything else, Dom, that got you all feeling good, feeling great?
I feel like there was something else that I was going to say before I brought up Sea of Thieves, but I have re-downloaded Sea of Thieves.
Yes, let's go.
I purposely didn't uninstall it because I had a feeling you'd reinstall it.
And I am excited to dive in with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Jesse, if you're still in the Twitch chat,
This
my
is a
guy,
tale.
Dom's
Get some-
in,
Captain
Todd's
Jack
in.
Sparrow.
We got a fucking squad to sail the seas, baby.
Get
Mike-
some Davy Jones action going.
Mike, is POTC enough to get you into the Sea of
No.
Thieves universe? Mike,
I
it's
feel like Mike would like
on
CFP.
Game Pass.
I know, like we always say, like, oh, Mike would like this game. I feel like Mike would actually enjoy his time with Sea of Thieves because it's like very like
You don't have to
really-
do anything.
you don't have to do anything half the
There's
time.
no
Yeah,
objective. You're just a
No,
pirate.
Yeah,
you
but
could-
I can also not do anything and not play the game.
I mean,
Yeah, but
there
it's
are
fun. It's
objectives.
fun.
There are
Yeah,
objectives.
no.
Let's be clear. There are things to do and missions to accomplish.
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
Mike's probably gonna just hang on the boat and get drunk. Mike, hold on, Mike. This is what fucking resold me on Sea of Thieves. You can have a pet cat that follows you on the boat and when you go onto islands.
I
You're a
just be
parrot.
concerned
You're
about
a parrot,
safety
too.
the entire time. I don't know if I could handle that.
You can't die.
I feel like you're lying to me.
You can't. He just keeps respawning.
Oh, so that he's dying is just coming back.
I don't think he ever dies. I think he just goes back in his box and you pick him out of the box.
It's wild to me that I had to beg people to play Sea of Thieves, and all of a sudden, the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean comes out, and everyone's like, "Now I might get into it again." I'm like, I don't give a shit about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is there a proper way to say that word? Because I say
I don't know.
Caribbean.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying
It
it wrong.
depends. It depends on what you're talking about, apparently, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
Interesting.
when you're talking about the movie, I've heard it Pirates of the Caribbean. But I feel like if you're
When you're talking about the area, yeah,
Yeah.
That's the distinction.
Caribbean, yeah.
That's
I
how you
like that.
differentiate it.
I'm not saying that
that's
there's
how
a
I've
legit.
heard it. That's how I've heard it. Yeah.
That's how I've heard it. I'm not saying there's an actual
What the
like proper way. I'm just saying that whenever I've heard the title of the movie, they say it that way. But if I've spoken about or if I've heard someone talk about the actual area, they say it the other way.
Interesting.
I don't know why that is.
What about you, Mike? We got one thing out of you. We got Tekken. Anything else making you all jiggly in your jollies?
No, because as an adult, I can't say that my jollies ever get jiggled by these things.
Okay, fair enough.
Now
So
that being said, the only thing that is actually crossing my mind is like, oh boy, I can play some of the old Mario Party mini games in that new Mario Party thing, but that's like barely a thing. It's more like it's a passing curiosity.
are you gonna get that or no?
We'll see when it comes out and there's like a price and everything on it.
$60.
Then I will make a decision.
Yeah, it's $50.
And then probably not.
There's no way
Yeah,
it's
and then I probably won't buy it for a few months.
I don't know if that's a day one for me, but if anyone else gets it, I will probably get it. Simply to like, I would love to. Like, I know Todd's one and only experience with Mario Party was playing Mario Party 10 with me and Mike on
Whatever it
a
was.
very
It was
early episode. Like I'm talking like episode 6 of the fucking podcast.
Think about it the whole time. Like I'm like, what is this game?
I
This game is
mean,
terrible.
and rightfully so, because Mario Party 10 is like not a return to form for that series. It is a fucking straying from the path and not in a good way. The early Mario Party games have some very fun mini games, and maybe that's nostalgia brain talking, but some good games. So I'm very excited for that.
Just one other thing too, Forza Horizon. That's like one of my biggest like things that I completely forgot about that.
So that was going to be one of the things I brought up, was that like Forza Horizon 5 looks like, to me, like I'm a person, and if you listen to the show, you know this, for a fact, but like I'm a person who I like art style, not necessarily graphical fidelity. Like I don't necessarily care if this is the most gorgeous thing in the world. I prefer like art styles that take advantage of, hey, we're going to do this thing and do this. But it doesn't mean I can't appreciate gorgeous games. And like, if I was someone who's like, what's the thing that like showcases the power and beauty that the Xbox Series X can do? Forza Horizon 5 looks fucking phenomenal. Like it looks absolutely, like there were points of that presentation where they were showing the game off where who's to say that's not just a fucking video feed of Mexico? Like, who is to say that that's not just real fucking footage? Because it looks so fucking gorgeous. But yeah, I agree with you. Forza Horizon 5, which I'm not surprised that game is a thing that exists because I expect them to make Forzas forever. But holy shit, it looks good. I can't wait to play it. Game Pass is a fucking godsend. It really is. Like if I was gonna purchase Forza, that would be a game I would buy at some point. Game Pass makes that a game that I will play day one, which is fantastic for me, and also great for that game because it'll have a booming player base from day one. But yeah, I agree with you, Todd. Forza Horizon 5 looks fucking incredible. I don't know if Mike, do you care about driving games in any sense or no? Like, does driving a car in a video game get you excited?
I kind of want to hear where Todd goes with this.
I didn't know if you could hear that. Mike,
Yeah,
I know I say like you'll like everything, but I really think you'd actually like Forza Horizon 5.
I downloaded one of the Forzas on my Xbox and I played it for all of maybe 20 minutes.
Did you download Horizon or Motorsport? Do you know?
I can't remember, and I know you've explained to me the difference before, and I would think that knowing that difference.
Motorsport is a driving simulation game, so it's like a much more technical, and like it's for car people. Forza Horizon still has some of those elements, but it's a lot more entry level, and it's a lot more. I struggle to say arcadey because I wouldn't call it an arcade driving game.
I think that's an okay comparison because I do think it has elements of that.
Yeah, so, it is meant for a wider audience. Where Forza Motorsport is meant for people who care about cars.
I jumped back and started playing because I know we talked about this, but like I played like for like an hour the other night, just like.
Oh, you downloaded 4?
I've had 4 on for a while, so like I always.
If you'll play it again, I'll download it because I like. Forza.
Yeah, like. That I'll jump into because like I have several achievements that I'm like this close to getting, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta rally some shit.
I mean,
I feel like there was a driving game that was announced last week that Mike, you would be.
Is it the cruising game?
It was cruising.
Shit, Mike's a big cruising guy.
Cruising. I think I would like Forza more. It's not that I would like it more, but I feel as though there was a version of me that would enjoy the game a lot, but that version of me would have the setup to go with it. He would be the guy with the steering wheel and the pedals.
Oh,
and he would get like the good screen and shit.
We get Mike a fucking steering wheel setup?
And he would just relax by sitting down and cruising around. But Mike, that's the same Mike that would put the effort into playing Flight Sim.
Mike, if you want to become like our Flight Sim guy, or our
I'm definitely playing. Mike, you gonna play some Flight Sim with me? Because I know, like, I feel like Brenden definitely.
How do you play Flight Sim together? I don't.
What do you mean? I'll be a co-pilot. You can be my co-pilot. We'll fucking go visit each other's houses.
Wait, is that a thing? You can fly planes together?
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I have no idea though. Like,
I have no idea. I don't think that's a thing in the game, Todd.
I think Todd just made a video game.
I think he did too.
He also said we'll fly to each other's houses.
Yeah,
as if that's a possibility.
It uses Google Maps. I'm pretty sure like everything's like legit.
Yeah, but I can't land here.
No, you can land on your roof.
You can't do that.
You can't land a plane on Mike's roof.
That's not how this works.
The one time I played it, the game yelled at me once I fucked up. Like listen, I did something catastrophic and said, no, this is over.
I also downloaded it on PC Game Pass and tried to play it, and it is very complicated.
Good.
Overwhelmingly complicated. I could not get my plane to take off the runway. It was too difficult. I crashed the plane on the runway multiple times. And then I said, "Oh no, I'm never playing this game again because I can't do this." But Mike, if you want to become the fucking Forza Horizon guy or the fucking Flight Simulator guy for PTC, we can maybe expend some things, Mike, and get you what you need to be that guy.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
We can talk about this. We can talk about this. We can figure this out. If you want to dive deep, if you want to be that guy, build a cockpit in your office. Who's to say I won't let that goal be achieved? Who's to fucking say? I'll open up the pass the controller coffers and make some purchases.
I think Mike already built a cockpit in his office.
Oh yeah?
I have
Okay.
no idea what Dom was talking about.
Clip that out. Mike's got a cockpit in his office. Anyways, yeah, for me, I mean, other than the stuff we talked about, Halo is probably the big guy for me. Redfall, I'm hopeful for. I'm intrigued because it's in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I just don't care about like trailers like that. But I know I'm gonna. It's like Arcane, so like all day long, you know.
Yeah, I think Todd would like it because it's Arcane. Dom may also like it because of Arcane. I don't think Dom's played an Arcane game, but I do think he would like their games.
Well, you know what? I probably would like Somerville, if only because it has a very inside vibe, because I believe it's made by at least one of the people involved in that game.
Mike, I am 1,000,000% realizing that you actually don't listen to anything
I do listen. I don't
that
listen
anyone
to you guys.
says because Todd
No.
specifically brought up Somerville and said it's made by ex-Playdead people, which are the
Made by
people that
one. Made by one. I think there's two of them, and they split off. They
Oh
had a
shit,
very bad
Mike
rapport.
knows more about Somerville than Todd. Fuck, Mike's the fucking Playdead expert. Todd's fucking.
I think I might enjoy Redfall too because it's made by Arcane Studios. I've never played anything by Arcane Studios.
This is the worst.
It also takes place
podcast
in
on the planet.
Massachusetts.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
It takes place in Somerville.
It
The same
does-
place
it doesn't.
as Somerville.
Oh,
I believe Mike said it takes place in a fictional Massachusetts city. Is that correct, Mike?
I have not looked at the map. If someone can find Redfall on a map of Massachusetts, then I will eat my words. But I've never.
Yeah,
found
Oh,
it.
is
right
Redfall
next-
the
I know.
name of the town?
I think they said it takes place in Redfall, Massachusetts, which
Interesting.
I know Orange exists.
That's
Orange
true. It
does
does
exist.
exist.
I think, which I think is weird. There might also be a Florida, Massachusetts, or maybe I'm just thinking about Orange still.
No, there's a Florida, Massachusetts as well.
I'm excited for that. I think honestly, I think the Microsoft showcase was really strong. It had a lot of really good games on there that were exciting. I mean, there were a lot of good announcements to come out of there. A lot of games coming to Game Pass, including Back for Blood, which I had the chance to play in the technical alpha earlier in the year or last year. I can't even fucking remember at this point. But if you are a fan of Left 4 Dead at all, obviously it's very clear with the marketing that they're trying to tell you it's made by X people that worked on Left 4 Dead. In my opinion, based on what I played in the alpha, it is everything you would want a Left 4 Dead sequel to be. But it's coming to Game Pass day one, which is, in my opinion, fucking bonkers. So I'm really excited for that announcement. Like, I was gonna get Back for Blood regardless. The fact that it's coming to Game Pass was a huge announcement for me because that's $60 I would have spent anyway. So now I'm gonna spend that $60 on another game. So now I get another game that I maybe wasn't gonna buy day one. So there's that going for it. I was really happy with Nintendo's Direct. I was already going to get things like Shin Megami Tensei 5. I was happy with what I saw. I thought it looked really good. Metroid Dread was a thing that was rumored to be happening for a long time. Obviously, there was rumors that a 2-day Metro was going to show up at this E3. I'm super excited about that game. The trailer did okay for me, but watching some of the gameplay from the Treehouse presentation afterwards really sold me on that game. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
I feel like I don't think that was a good trailer. Like, I think the game's probably going to be great, but like, I don't think that trailer did it justice. I don't know.
I think with a game like that, it's just like it's a 2D game stylized in 3D graphics that like.
Yo, as long as it's $20, you know, like, it should be fine.
Yeah, okay, Todd. I think
mean,
that's a hard game to
You're gonna
showcase.
tell me that game is better than Hollow Knight?
I mean, who's to say? We'll see. You know what I mean?
Wait, did you guys bring up Metroid Dread yet?
Mike, have you heard of
This
a
is
game
a great
called
show.
Metroid Dread?
Yeah, I was
Red
hoping
Dead
it was named
Redemption.
Metroid Red Dead Redemption, which sounds like
Metroid
play that game.
Dread Red Redemption. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
No, I'm excited for Dread too.
Yeah, I think that looks really good. It kind of one of my friends, Matt, DJ Stormageddon, who hosts a fucking million podcasts. I was actually a guest on his side questing show, which I talked about the Messenger for a little bit, so you can check that out. He is super excited about that. He loves Metroid Fusion, and he started playing through all of the Metroids leading up to this, because I believe this is a sequel to Metroid Fusion, and I believe Metroid Fusion is a sequel to Super Metroid. So if you, I don't know, part of me is like, fuck, do I want to like bust out my 3DS and play through some of these games leading up to it? Because I mean, full disclosure, I've never finished Super Metroid. I've never played Metroid Fusion, and I've never played Metroid Samus Returns. So
Only
my
Metroid I ever finished was the Nintendo one, the very first one.
I've never even finished that. I've played a lot of it. The only Metroid games I have finished is Metroid Prime 1 and 2, I believe. So
Oh, I finished the first, yeah, first Prime. Yeah,
so
that's
like
it.
I've played a lot of Metroid. I like Samus as a character, and I like that universe, but like I have not played a lot of Metroid games. So
Think this game's gonna sell? Because that seems to be the problem with Metroid.
so yes, historically, it's a problem with Metroid. I think it will sell on the Switch, and also I think that like a lot of Metroid fans out there are adults now, and they have disposable income. So I think this will sell. I think this will be a game that like the Metroid fan base has been waiting this for a long fucking time. I think this game will do well in comparison to what I think Nintendo is projecting this game to do. Like, will this game sell over 10 million copies? That I don't know. Will it sell good for a Metroid game? Yes, I think so. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point this year, the game comes out in October. I wouldn't be shocked by the end of the year if you don't see Metroid Dread is the best-selling Metroid game of all time. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if that is the case. Which is great. I hope it happens because I hope that also inspires Nintendo to do this for more of their franchises. I would love to see. I'm sure many people would love to see. I'm positive many people would love to see F-Zero get this treatment and Star
No one wants
Fox.
F-Zero. Like I don't understand the F-Zero hype. Like, listen, that game was fun, but like, that game did nothing crazy. Fucking, I
Listen,
just don't understand. Like, that's
Nintendo's
great nostalgia.
Nin-
That game would never do well
Nintendo
unless
is
they made.
Nintendo is in the place now where like they're firing on all cylinders with their A level S tier fucking franchises. They now have the ability to also fire on that same level with their B level fucking franchises like Star Fox, Metroid, F-Zero, Kid
Is
Icarus.
F-Zero even a franchise at this point?
I mean,
Like, could you?
there's a few games in that I mean, there's Super Metroid. There's fucking Super Nintendo. There's GameCube. I can't remember if there was an N64 F-Zero. I think there was. There was the
There was.
arcade F-Zero. I mean,
GX.
GX was the GameCube one, I believe. So there was GX for the GameCube and AX, which was the arcade version.
There was an N64 version.
I think
but
there
can't
was too. Yeah. I mean, I think there are enough people that
I'm
like
gonna go
F-Zero.
out on a limb and say it was called F-Zero 64, but
It's possible.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has the luxury now of like they have their big franchises firing on all cylinders, arguably putting out the best game in those series to date. F-Zero, Star Fox, Kid Icarus, we're getting Metroid, we're getting 2 Metroid games. Those games all deserve the love, and I think that we will get them soon. I think
it was F-Zero X.
X, okay. I think if this Metroid game sells well, I think this will be a sort of like flagpole for Nintendo to gauge like, okay, can some of our mid-tier, less supported franchises succeed? And I think this will push them to dig deeper into that well. And I think a lot of people will be excited for that. Outside of that, I mean, there were a lot of indie announcements that I was excited about. You guys named a few. I mean, Tunic getting some support and love in future release dates excites me. 12 Minutes getting a release date excites me. Sable getting a release date excites me. I'm excited for that game. There was a game that I am in the process of playing called Toem, which is like a black and white indie game that is a photography game that I am very excited about. So there were a lot of cool announcements. There was a game called Terra Nil that was a Devolver game that is like a reverse city builder game where you're basically the environment trying to take back the environment, which looks really cool. Jesse did a preview for that over on Prima Games, so you can check that out. But that game looks fucking sweet. Yeah, there was a lot of games this year. I think there were a lot of things to be excited about. I think ultimately, for the big stuff, Halo Infinite Breath of the Wild sequel and Metroid Dread are probably the big ones for me. Forza Horizon, I guess, too. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyone else have anything they want to add before we wrap things up?
No.
Nailed it. I will say
Not very productive.
I'm excited for hopefully next year things to return to physical in-person events, simply because I feel like this digital format with all of these things, Summer Game Fest and fucking E3 and anything else around that time, is just, it's almost overwhelmingly too much stuff, and like it's so spread out that it's hard to keep track really of a lot of this shit. And I kind of would like to see some of this stuff a little more condensed and put into a more compact manner that we can digest easily, because I just feel like there's a lot going on, and I know a lot of us are still at home or have more time at home, and it's, I don't know, it still just feels like a lot. I will say too, I'm intrigued by that new Borderlands game, Tiny Tina's game. I think that could be very interesting.
After the last game, I'm just fucking like, let's see what they can put out there. But
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 263 of the Pass Controller Podcast. As always, if you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to patreon.com/passcontroller, become a patron. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com and buying some sick swag. Or, you know what? If you don't have a few bucks kicking around, you want to help support the show, you can do that by just sharing the show on social media, letting a friend know about the show, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever reviews can be left for podcast shows. It really helps us grow our audience and let more people find us out there in the world. If you want to keep up with us and what we do, you can find everything we do at passthecontroller.io. You can find Pass the Controller on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller, and on Instagram and Twitter at passcontroller. You can find me at bgroom. You can find Mike at _Mike O Path. You can find Todd at _ no _ You can find Todd at beer me up Toddy. Wait, what the fuck? Toddy _
I don't know.
by _ nature. And you can find Dom at PTC _ one little spark. And I don't know about you, but this Mai Tai is starting to hit. And I got a busy weekend ahead of me. And apparently, I have to go to the fucking beach tomorrow. Yay me. So, we'll see you next time. And thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 263 of the Pass Control Podcast. Until next time.